My beloved child, do not leave. Just for a few minutes, stay with me, because what I am about to say is not a coincidence, and you are not here by chance either. I called you. I led you to this moment long before you realized it. Among countless places you could have stopped today, among thousands of voices competing for your attention, I opened a space of silence so your heart could hear my voice. Therefore, do not let the rush of life pull you away from this moment. Listen, because there is something you need to know today, not to make you afraid, not to add another burden to your shoulders, but so you may realize that throughout the journey you have walked. There were many times you thought you were walking alone, while I myself was silently protecting you from things your eyes never saw. My child, there were doors that did not open. There were plans that did not unfold as you expected. There were trips canceled. There were relationships that unexpectedly ended. There were prayers that seemed to fall into silence. And there were times you thought I was no longer listening. But today, I want you to know a truth you have never fully seen. Many things you call failures are actually my protection. Many times you thought I was taking something away from you. I was actually keeping you from things that could damage your soul. You cannot see the entire road ahead, but I see. I see the intersections you haven't reached. I see the traps you know nothing about. I see the tears that, without my protection, would have been far more numerous. That is why I am speaking to you today, not because I am distant from you, but because I love you too much to let you continue thinking you have been forgotten. Slow down the chaotic thoughts in your head. Let your heart be still. Let all worries wait a little longer, because in the next few minutes, I will reveal to you something that might change how you look back on your entire journey. The enemy always wants you to see only what you have lost. He wants you to believe that delay is failure. He wants you to think that closed doors are a sign I have abandoned you. But that is not the truth. The truth is there are battles I fought for you while you were sleeping. There are dangers I stopped before they touched your life. There are decisions that seemed so right that I did not allow to happen because I knew what awaited at the end of that road. You have never been alone, and you have never been unprotected. If today I awaken your heart with these words, it is not because I want you to live in fear. It is because I want you to awaken to the love and care I have always had for you. I do not warn to condemn. I remind to preserve. I do not call you here to make you worry about tomorrow. I call you here so you know that tomorrow is still in my hands. Therefore, my beloved child, do not leave. Do not just listen for a few minutes and then close this. What I have just said is only the beginning. I still have something more important that you need to understand. When you realize how I protected you in the past, your faith will no longer rest on what your eyes see, but on the one who is always faithful, even in the longest silences. Stay with me, because what I will reveal next will help you understand that even in the days you thought you were weakest, my protection was covering your life more powerfully than ever before. My beloved child, before you told me what was heavy on your heart, I already knew. Before a single tear fell, I had already seen it. Before you cried out, "Lord, please help me," I was right beside you. No pain of yours is too small for me to ignore. No sigh vanishes into the void without my hearing it. I know there have been nights you could not sleep. The room was dark. Everyone was fast asleep. Only you were awake with thoughts continuously swirling in your mind. You tossed and turned over and over again, You tried to close your eyes, but the burdens still pressed upon your heart. You worried for the future. You worried for your family. You worried for your job. You worried because of things you could not control. And then you wondered if I truly heard your prayers. I heard. I always hear. Even when your prayer is just a choked up sob. Even when you no longer have the strength to form sentences. Even when you only know how to be silent in exhaustion. I still understand. My child. I know the feeling of loneliness you tried to hide behind your smiles. There are days you still fulfill your responsibilities. You still talk, still work, still care for others. But inside, you feel like no one truly understands what you are carrying. You once wished there was just one person who would sit down, listen without judging. Someone who would see the tears you hid away. Someone who would understand the exhaustion you couldn't express in words. My child, I am that one. I have never turned my face away from you. I have never abandoned you. I have never grown tired of listening to you. There are times you thought you were forgotten. You see others moving forward. You see doors opening for them. You see their prayers seemingly answered. As for you, you are still waiting. You are still hoping. You are still asking yourself why your life is moving so slowly. I know that feeling. I know every time you ask yourself, does God still remember me? Did I do something wrong? Does God still have a plan for my life? My child. If I am speaking to you today, the answer is already very clear. I still remember you. I always remember you. Your name has never left my heart. Not a single day do I stop watching over every step you take. There are tears you wipe away very quickly so no one will see. But I saw. There are times you step into your room, lock the door, and burst into tears. I was there. There are times you kneel to pray, but then just remain silent because you have no words left to say. I am still there. There are days you feel your faith weakening. You read my word, but your heart is still heavy. You pray, but the sky seems to remain silent. You try to trust, but fear still creeps into every thought. I do not blame you. I understand. I know you are only human with limitations, weaknesses, and wounds. I do not love you less just because you are tired. I do not pull away from you just because you have questions. I do not reject you just because sometimes you lack strength. You are still my beloved child. That has never changed. Remember this. I see even the things no one else sees. I know your silent sacrifices. I know the times you chose to forgive, even though your heart still hurt. I know the times you tried to hold on to faith amidst days that seemed to hold only darkness. I know the battles taking place in your mind that no one knows about. And I know there are times you just wish everything would stop so you could rest. My child, if today you feel you are at the absolute limit of your endurance, listen to me. Do not think I have forgotten you. Do not think my silence equals my absence. There are things happening that you cannot yet see. There are invisible arms preserving you every day. There are dangers I have stopped that you will never fully know about. Even on your weakest days, my protection has never left you. Perhaps you haven't realized it, but I have many times kept you from hasty decisions. I have many times blocked roads that looked very appealing but would have led to hurt. I have many times upheld you in moments where, if you had relied only on your own strength, you would have collapsed long ago. That is why I want you to continue staying with me. Do not let what your eyes see become the whole truth, because what your eyes haven't seen is much. much greater. I haven't finished speaking. In the next part, I will reveal to you why some prayers seem unanswered, why some doors have closed, and why, right in those silent spaces, my protection is quietly preparing something good according to my will. Stay with me. What comes next will help you view waiting no longer as a punishment, but as proof of the love and preservation I have always had for you, my beloved child. There is a question I know you have carried in your heart for a very long time. Perhaps you have never spoken it aloud. Perhaps you tried to bury it behind prayers, behind worship songs, behind smiles in front of others. But I know you have often asked yourself, Lord, if you are truly here, why are you silent? I understand why you ask that. When a door closes, when a prayer seems to have no answer, when you have waited too long, when your strength is gradually depleting, silence can make your heart think I am very far away. But, my child, what you call silence is often the period of time I am quietly working. Not everything I do can be seen immediately. A farmer sowing seeds into the ground does not stand beside them, pulling them up little by little to make them grow. He patiently waits, because he knows that beneath the dark layer of soil, life is quietly germinating. I am doing the same in your life. There are things I accomplish deep within your heart before you see them expressed on the outside. I am healing wounds you haven't recognized. I am molding your character. I am teaching you to trust, even when you haven't seen the results. I am preparing you for things that today you are not yet strong enough to bear. If I handed you everything exactly when you wanted it, would you truly be ready to preserve it? There are prayers I answer immediately. There are prayers I answer by telling you to wait. And there are also prayers I answer with a closed door. Not because I do not love you. It is exactly because I love you, my child. You only see the present moment. I see the entire journey. You see a door that just closed. I see 10 doors ahead that you know nothing about. You see a loss. I see a rescue. You see a broken dream. I see that what I am building will be far more enduring. Have you ever thought that there are things you once asked for, but if I had given them to you at that time, they would have hurt you? There are roads that look very smooth, but lead to a precipice. There are invitations that look promising, but would have stolen your peace. There are relationships that make your heart flutter, but would have pulled you away from the purpose I have for you. You do not see everything, but I see. Therefore, when I stop you, do not be quick to think I am taking away something good. Perhaps I am preserving something better. Remember this, a closed door is not always a rejection. Many times, it is protection. An unsuccessful plan is not always a failure. Many times, it is grace. A delay is not always a loss. Many times, it is my mercy keeping you from something that is not yet in the right season. My child, there were times you were frustrated because things didn't go the way you wanted. You didn't understand. You were disappointed. Your heart ached. But if today I opened your eyes to see all the things I quietly prevented, you would understand why I didn't allow certain things to happen. I protected you from decisions made under the influence of emotion. I preserved you from words that could have broken precious relationships. I stopped your steps from paths that looked very attractive on the outside but ended in hurt. There were times you called it unfair. I call it protection. There were times you called it a closed door. I call it my hand preserving you. There were times you thought you missed out. I knew I was holding you back because the time had not yet come. Do not measure my love by the speed at which I answer your prayers. Measure that love by the cross, where I demonstrated the greatest love for humanity. My love does not change according to circumstances. My faithfulness does not waver with your emotions. Even when you do not feel me, I am still there. Even when you do not see me, I am still working. Even when everything seems to stand still, I am still orchestrating things beyond your understanding. Perhaps today you still haven't received the answer you expected. That does not mean I have forgotten your prayer. I never forget. I simply do not act according to your haste. I act according to my perfect wisdom and love. And believe this, not a single day of your waiting is meaningless when you place it in my hands. Not a single tear falls without my preserving it. Not a single sincere prayer vanishes into the void. I know everything. I remember everything. I am using everything to work together for the good of those who love me. Therefore, do not let silence cause you to lose faith. Do not let delay cause you to give up hope. Do not let closed doors make you doubt my love. Be patient a little longer. Keep walking. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Because there are miracles that do not begin with an open door. They begin with a heart that knows how to wait in peace. If these words are touching your heart, say to me right now, Lord, even though I do not understand everything, I still choose to trust you. Please keep my heart in peace and teach me to wait according to your will. My child, I haven't finished speaking. In the next part, I will reveal to you how my protection is present in every area of your life, even in the places you think hold only darkness and loss. When you begin to realize that, fear will gradually give way to faith, and your heart will find peace in my unchanging presence. My beloved child, at this point, I want you to understand something very important. For many years, you may have thought that my protection only means your life will not face suffering. You used to hope that if I am with you, there will be no more tears, no more disappointment, no more loss, no more dark days. But my child, that is not how I promised to be with you. I never promised that you would not walk through the valley. I promised that I would walk with you in that valley. I never said that storms would not come. I promised that my presence would not leave you when the storms arise. That is true protection. It is not always removing every difficulty. It is preserving your soul amidst the difficulties. There are storms that make you lose your peace, but there are also storms that make you discover that true peace does not come from circumstances, but comes from knowing I am still holding your life, my child. Have you ever noticed that in your weakest moments, you still had enough strength to stand up? There are mornings you woke up and wondered how you would make it through that day, yet you still walked on, not because you are stronger than you think, but because my grace upheld you. There are times you thought your heart would shatter, but then you could still love, you could still pray, you could still hope. That was not your own strength. That was my silent protection guarding your heart from despair. I know there are unhealed wounds. There are memories that make your eyes sting just by mentioning them. There are words from others that still echo in your mind. There are failures you still cannot forgive yourself for. But I do not only protect you from things that happen on the outside, I also want to protect your heart. Because if your heart is overtaken by bitterness, then even if circumstances change, you will find it hard to have peace. If your mind is controlled by fear, you will lose the joy I want to give. If you let disappointment become your guide, you will find it hard to see the light of hope still right in front of your eyes. Therefore, every day I invite you to draw near to me, not because I need your presence, but because you need my presence. Just as a branch needs to remain attached to the vine to continue living and bearing fruit, your soul also needs to abide in me, to be nourished. My child, do not think that I am only near when you feel strong. Many times, I am nearest to you exactly when you feel weakest, when you have no words left to pray, when you only know how to sigh, when you sit in silence and tears roll down your cheeks. I am still there. I do not turn away because you are weak. I step closer. I uphold you with a love the world cannot give. Perhaps today you are still waiting for me to change circumstances. I understand that, but before I change circumstances, I often begin by renewing your heart, because a trusting heart will be able to stand firm even when it hasn't seen the answer. A mind set on me will not easily be swept away by every wave of anxiety. A soul near me will find peace right in the midst of unresolved things. That is the gift I want to give you. Not a fragile peace dependent on everything going your way, but a peace born from knowing that I am still in control. My child, there are people who walked into your life with good intentions. There are also people who only stayed for a season. When they left, you hurt. I know, but do not think that every parting means I failed to protect you. Sometimes, my protection is exactly not letting some people continue journeying with you, not because they have no value, but because the path I have for each person is not always the same. There are things you only understand when looking back. There are prayers that are only illuminated after many years. Therefore, do not rush to conclude about my work from just one chapter in the story. I am writing the entire journey. You are only reading one page. If today you are carrying a fear in your heart that you haven't dared to speak of, bring it to me. If you fear the future, I will give you my presence. If you fear failure, I will teach you to stand up after every stumble. If you fear walking alone, I will remind you that I never abandon those who seek me. What I promise is not a life without trials. What I promise is that you will not have to face trials alone. My beloved child, perhaps right now you still haven't seen the whole picture. Perhaps there are still many unanswered questions. But I ask you not to let what you do not know obscure what you already know. You already know I am faithful. You already know I love you. You already know I listen to your prayers. You already know I do not change. Hold fast to those truths. Do not let the emotions of one difficult day define your entire journey of faith. Do not let one closed door make you think all hope is shut. I am still making a way. Even if you don't see it, I am still preserving you. Even if you don't fully feel it, I am still working. Even in the silences, if your heart is being touched right now, gently say to me, Lord, please help me not only seek your blessing hand, but also know how to take refuge in your presence. Please teach me to recognize your protection even when I do not understand everything. Stay with me. I still haven't finished speaking. What I will teach you next will help you understand that the greatest protection is not avoiding all trials, but having a trusting and obedient heart amidst all circumstances. Right there, your faith will mature, hope will be renewed, and my peace will become the refuge for your soul. My beloved child, I want to teach you something that if you truly understand it, will change how you walk in every season of your life. Do not just seek my hand. Seek me. Many times, you come to me because you need a door to open. You pray for circumstances to change. You hope I will take away the pressures weighing heavily on your shoulders. That is not wrong. I rejoice when you run to me. But my child, I do not want you to seek me only when you need a miracle. I desire that you love my presence even more than the things I can give you. Because when you are near me, your heart will find something more precious than the answer you are waiting for. You will find peace, a peace that does not come from everything going smoothly, a peace that is not swept away when circumstances change, a peace built on the foundation that I am still God. Whether today the sky is full of sunshine or covered in dark clouds, my child, faith does not only grow in days of victory. Faith is forged in the days you have not seen the results yet. Continue to trust. That is when you learn to walk by faith and not just by what your eyes see. I know that is not easy. There are mornings you wake up and your heart is still heavy. There are days you read my word but still have many questions. There are times you finish praying but circumstances still haven't changed. Do not be discouraged. Every time you choose to come to me in those moments, your faith is growing. Every time you refuse to let fear control you, your soul is becoming stronger. Every time you forgive, even though it still hurts, you are letting my love heal the deepest places in your heart. My child, do not let impatience steal what I am doing. The world teaches you to have immediate results, must see the answer right away, must have success very quickly. But my kingdom often operates in patience. A seed needs time to take root. A tree needs time to grow. A heart also needs time to mature. If I gave you everything the moment you asked, you might receive what you want, but you would miss what I want to form within you. I do not only care about where you will arrive, I also care about who you will become on that journey. Therefore, do not consider the time of waiting as useless. While you wait, I am teaching you to listen. While you wait, I am teaching you to distinguish my voice among countless other voices. While you wait, I am helping you realize that true strength does not come from controlling everything, but from placing your heart in my hands. My child, there is one thing I want you to let go of. That is the burden of having to control everything yourself. I know you often overthink. You try to find every way to predict what will happen. You imagine the worst-case scenarios. You carry on your shoulders things that do not belong to you, and then you are exhausted. Hand those burdens over to me, not because you are weak, but because you were created to walk with me, not alone. There are burdens only I can carry. There are doors only I can open. There are hearts only I can touch. What you need to do is not to try to control everything in my place. What you need to do is be faithful with today's step. Live honestly. Love. Pray. Forgive. Do the right thing, even when no one is looking. Leave the rest for me to guide. My child, do not let bitterness take root in your heart. I know there are people who have hurt you. There are words that made you lose sleep for many nights. There are betrayals you haven't been able to forget. But if you embrace bitterness, the first person imprisoned will be yourself. Forgiving does not mean denying the pain. Forgiving is handing the right of judgment over to me. It is refusing to let the past continue to rule the present. It is opening your heart so my healing can begin its work. I do not tell you to forgive because others deserve it. I invite you to forgive so your heart can be free. My child, do not compare your journey with others. Sometimes you see others receiving what you are still praying for. You ask yourself why. But I am writing a separate story for each person. What I do in someone else's life is not the measuring stick for what I am doing in your life. I know the timing. I know the abilities. I know what you need. And I am never late according to my plan. Continue to walk in humility. Continue to keep a soft heart. Continue to love my word. Continue to spend time with me, even when you do not feel anything special. The greatest changes do not happen in a day. They are formed through every time you choose obedience, every silent prayer, every faithful decision, every small but steadfast footstep. That is how I build a firm life. If your heart is being moved today, pray with me. Lord, please teach me not only to seek the things you can give, but to love your very presence. Please grant me a heart that knows how to trust, how to wait, and how to obey. Even when I do not fully understand your ways, please guard my heart in peace and help me always take refuge in you. My beloved child, I still have one very important thing I want you to understand. There are people in the Bible who also walked through days that seemed entirely dark. They were afraid. They waited. They cried. But then they realized that throughout that journey, my hand had never left them. Stay with me, because in the next part, I will lead you to look into their lives. When you realize how I protected and remained faithful to them, you will have more strength to believe that I myself am also walking with you today. My beloved child, perhaps there are times you think that only you have to walk through long days of waiting. You look at your life and ask yourself, why does my path have so many trials? Why do I have to go through things that others don't seem to have to experience? But my child, you are not the first to walk on that path. From the beginning, many have learned to recognize my protection not in easy days, but exactly in challenging days. Look at Joseph. Do you remember? Joseph did no evil to his brothers, yet he was hated by them. He was sold into slavery, taken to a foreign land, falsely accused, thrown into a dark dungeon. If you only look at each event individually, it would be easy to think I had forgotten Joseph. But I never left that son. Even in Potiphar's house, I was with Joseph. In the cold, dark dungeon, I was still with Joseph. In the years he seemed forgotten, I was silently preparing the road ahead. What Joseph called a delay, I was using to forge character. What Joseph called injustice, I was turning into a part of a larger plan. If I had brought Joseph to a position of leadership too soon, would he have been mature enough to bear that responsibility? There are things that can only be formed in seasons of waiting. My child, perhaps today you are also in a dark dungeon of your own. Not 4 walls of stone, but a period of time you feel stuck. You pray, you try, you are faithful, but everything seems to stand still. Do not think I have forgotten you. If I was still with Joseph in the dark dungeon, I am also with you in these days. I do not waste any season of your life. Every day you walk in faithfulness is preparing you for the things ahead. My beloved child, now look at David. When I sent the prophet to anoint David, it did not mean he became king the next day. Between the promise and the fulfillment was a long journey. a journey full of trials. David had to continue shepherding sheep, had to face a lion and a bear, had to fight Goliath, had to flee from Saul's pursuit. There were nights David slept in a cave. There were days David didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But I never left my servant, right in the desolate fields. I taught David to care, right in the lonely caves. I taught David to pray, right in the days of being misunderstood. I taught David to place his trust in me rather than in human praise. My child, perhaps you are also living in the time between the promise and the waiting. Do not think that period of time is meaningless. It is exactly where I am forming the deepest things within you. I am not only preparing the things I will entrust to you, I am preparing you because if character is not mature, a blessing can also become a burden. If faith is not built up, success can also cause you to drift away from me. That is why I patiently work in your heart before changing the circumstances around you. My child, remember Daniel. He was not rescued from the lion's den before being thrown into it, but I was with Daniel in the lion's den. That is my protection. It is not always keeping you from every trial. It is preserving you in the midst of the trial. There are times you ask me to take away the storm, but I step into the boat with you instead. There are times you ask me to change the circumstances, but I choose to first renew your heart so you can walk through those circumstances with faith and peace. That does not mean I do not care about your pain. On the contrary, I am very near to broken hearts. I listen to the cries of those who seek me. I give new strength to those who place their hope in me. My child, do not just look at the beginning of the story. If Joseph stopped at the dark dungeon, he would never have seen my faithfulness. If David stopped in the cave, he would not have seen me fulfill what I promised. If Daniel only looked at the lions, he would have missed that I was right there in that terrifying place. You are the same. Do not conclude about my work when your story is still unfolding. What you are living today is not yet the final chapter. I am still writing. I am still guiding. I am still acting. Perhaps you do not understand everything, but you can choose to trust the one who sees from the beginning to the end. If your heart is being touched right now, whisper to me, Lord, please help me remember that you are always faithful. Please, let me look at what you did in the Bible to strengthen my heart in my own journey, even though I do not see the whole picture. Please, let me always believe that you are still accompanying and preserving me. My beloved child, I still have one very important thing I want you to do before we end this conversation. Do not just hear these words and let them pass by. Respond with faith, because when you open your heart to respond to me, you will learn to walk every day in peace, knowing that my protection is not based on circumstances, but on my unchanging love and faithfulness. Stay with me. The last thing I am about to say will help you walk away from here with a heart full of hope, peace, and renewed trust in me. My beloved child, you have listened to me up to here. You have opened your heart to the things I want to reveal. Now, I want to ask you something. Are you willing to place your hand in mine? Not because from today every trial will immediately disappear, not because you will instantly understand every answer, but because you believe that the one holding your hand is greater than anything you are facing. That is faith. Faith is not seeing everything and then believing. Faith is choosing to trust me even when you do not yet see the entire road ahead. My child, Perhaps it has been too long that you carried every burden alone. You tried to be strong. You tried to control everything. You tried to find solutions to every problem. And then you grew tired. You grew exhausted. Not because you are weak, but because you are carrying things I never intended for you to carry alone. Today, put them down. Put down the worries of tomorrow. Put down the regrets of yesterday. Put down the unanswered questions. Put down the fears you have always kept hidden. Hand them all over to me. Not because I don't know them. I have known them for a very long time. But I hope you will voluntarily open your heart. I do not force. I always invite. I stand at the door of your heart and patiently wait. If you open the door, I will enter. I will be with you. I will give you a peace the world cannot take away. My child, perhaps the hardest thing for you is not praying. It is continuing to trust after praying. You have asked, then waited, then been disappointed. And every time that happens, your heart gathers a little more doubt. But today, I want you to try something different. Do not just ask me to change circumstances. Ask me to transform your very heart. Ask me to give you eyes to see grace amidst difficult days. Ask me to give you a heart that knows how to give thanks, even when you haven't received what you expected. Ask me to give you the strength to be faithful in small things, because precisely within those prayers, you will discover that my presence is a greater gift than anything you are seeking. My child, if today you truly believe I am still with you, say it to me, not because I need to hear it, but because you yourself need to declare what your heart is choosing. Gently say, Lord, I believe you are with me. Say it when you are strong. Say it when you are weak. Say it when you have the answer. And even when you are still waiting, every time you choose to trust, your faith will grow. Every time you return to me, your heart will be preserved. Every time you place your hope in me, you will not walk alone. My child, I also want you to remember those around you. Perhaps someone in your family needs a word of encouragement. A friend is carrying a pain they have never spoken of. Someone is thinking, no one cares about them anymore. Do not keep the love I have sown in your heart to yourself. Become a source of comfort. Speak edifying words. Pray for them. Love with humility. When you share what I have done in your heart, you are reflecting my light to others. My child, if today your heart is being moved, I invite you to take a few minutes to pray with me. Shut out all the noise. Let your heart be still and say, Loving Heavenly Father, I thank you that you have never abandoned me, even when I did not realize it. Please forgive me for the times I let fear become greater than faith. Please forgive me for the many times I thought your silence meant your absence. Today, I choose to trust you. I hand over into your hands the things I cannot control. Please guard my mind from anxiety. Please protect my heart from bitterness and despair. Please teach me to walk every day in obedience and peace. Even though I do not see the entire road ahead, I believe you are still leading me with your love and wisdom. Please let my life reflect the love of Christ, so that those around me are encouraged to seek you. I thank you. Amen. My beloved child, I am glad you opened your heart. I am glad you chose to trust instead of surrendering to fear. But I still have one final thing I want to say to you. Do not leave, because what I am about to reveal will close this conversation with the very promise I want you to carry with you in the days to come. Let that promise become your refuge when storms arise. Let that promise become your light when you walk through dark spaces. And let that promise remind you every day that you never walk alone. I am still with you. Stay with me a little longer. My beloved child, before you leave this conversation, I want you to be quiet a little longer. Do not rush back to the busyness of today. Do not let the noise of life immediately fill your heart again. Let the words I just spoke settle very deeply into your soul. Take a slow, deep breath, and remember this: I am here, not only during the minutes you listen to this message, not only when you kneel to pray, not only when you step into church. I am with you when you wake up in the morning. I am with you in the exhausting hours of work. I am with you on the roads you travel. I am with you in the quiet, empty rooms. I am with you when your tears fall. I am with you when you smile. I am with you on the days you are strong. And I am also with you on the days you think you have no strength left to keep walking. That is my promise. Not because you are always strong, not because you are always perfect, but because my love for you does not change. My child, when this conversation ends, your circumstances might not change immediately. There might still be unanswered questions. There might still be doors you are waiting to be opened. There might still be tears you will have to wipe away. But I hope one thing has changed. That is your heart. I hope that when you stand up from here, you will no longer walk with the thought that you have been forgotten. I hope that when you face a difficult day, you will remember my words today, that I have never left you, that my silence is not an absence, that even when you do not see the path, my hand is still guiding every step you take. My child, perhaps many years from now, when looking back on your journey, you will realize things you cannot understand today. You will realize why some doors closed. You will realize why some plans did not succeed. You will realize why I told you to wait. And then you will smile through tears, not because everything was easy, but because you will see how faithful I have been. You will realize that there were times what saved you was not an open door. It was the door I refused to open. There were times what preserved you was not the shortest road. It was the road I led you on. Though longer, but safer. There were times what brought peace was not a change in circumstances. It was my presence never leaving you. That is my protection. My child, do not judge your life just by one difficult day. Do not judge my love just by one prayer still waiting for an answer. Do not let one chapter full of tears make you think the whole story will end in tears. I am still writing. I am not finished writing. When you no longer see the light, remember that I am still your light. When you feel weak, remember that my strength is made perfect in weakness. When you feel your heart wavering, return to my word. Pray, seek me, not because I am hiding from you, but because I am always waiting for you to draw nearer. My child, do not fear tomorrow. Tomorrow still belongs to me. I do not promise that you will understand everything that happens, but I promise not to leave you alone on that journey. I will give you wisdom when you need to make decisions. I will give you strength to stand firm when you are tired. I will give you peace to guard your heart amidst unclear things. Every day, my grace is sufficient for you. Every day, my mercies are new. Every day, my presence still goes before you, my beloved child. If today you only remember one thing of all I have said, remember this: you are loved, not because you deserve it, but because I chose to love you. You are seen by me. Even when no one understands you, you are preserved by me. Even when you do not realize it, you never have to walk alone, because I am always with you. Therefore, when difficult days return, remember today's conversation. When fear knocks on the door of your heart, remember that I am greater than that fear. When doubt wants to take over your mind, remember that my promises are more enduring than your emotions. And when you no longer know what to say, just whisper, Lord, I am here. I will listen. I will be with you. I will continue to guide you step by step. My child, thank you for staying until this moment. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for letting me remind you of my unchanging love. Now, step forward, not with confidence in your own strength, but with trust in the one who is always faithful. Live every day with a grateful heart. Love as I have loved you. Forgive as I have forgiven you. Pray even when you haven't seen the answer. Keep your faith even when you do not see the entire road. And always remember, wherever you go, whatever you have to face, you are never alone. I go before you. I walk beside you. I uphold you. I preserve you. I love you with an unchanging love. My beloved child, go forth in peace. Let hope be greater than fear. Let faith be stronger than doubt. Let my love become the refuge for your soul. And when you close this conversation, do not think I have stopped speaking. I will continue to speak to you through my word, through prayer, through quiet moments, and through my presence always near to those who seek me. I am with you. I have never left you. The best is still ahead as you continue to walk in me. I love you. Amen.